live as we'll ever be.
We live, man.
I'm seeing those green bars moving on that audio mixer.
Well, that's good. So we don't have to redo a whole stretch of the show.
Well, last time when I was editing, I was like, "Holy crap!" That was most of the show. We knocked out everything in 30 minutes, but we talked for an hour and a half before that.
Right. We had to go back and just kind of rerun it. I wasn't tripping. Technical issues happen. Let's be honest about it. Back in the day when we were just recording audio with Skype, Skype would fuck up a lot. So we had a lot of issues in those days. There was one that where you and Pimp were making a remix song. It actually had a beat and everything. That was it actually didn't sound too bad, but it was just yeah, I started having issues with Pamela, the recording software, because I had bought Pam in the early days. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, Pam was chopping and screwing my audio. Everything I said, it was it was everything I said, and so that's when we had to try to find alternative ways to record the show and all kinds of crazy shit. It got really bad.
Right.
So it's just really a thing,
Sup, Blue?
Happen. Blue in the building. What's up, dog?
Well, we needed him last time, so he could have told us, "Yo, I can't hear Scar."
Right. Yeah, Blue ain't show up to the last show, and we had no idea that y'all couldn't hear me for the first hour that we recorded. Man, I think we should just go into the show. I think, I think we should get it. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Scarfinger, and this is Scarcasm. Chase is in the building. All of the Scarcasm peeps are in the building. Blue's in the chat. What's up, dog? And we are back in your ear holes. We were supposed to record last week, and Chase was feeling a little bit under the weather. Mm-hmm. And then last Monday was a holiday, so Chase wanted to play Destiny, so he didn't want to record the show because he wanted to play Destiny.
Yeah, it had been a week since I played anything, and I was like, man, I kind of want to just play some video games. Yeah,
he said he was preoccupied last show. Word, you was preoccupied. Word, what you had to do that was more important than me? Ain't nothing in your life more important than me. I'm looking at the camera. I'm gonna say it again. There was nothing in Blue's life that is more important than me.
Yeah, I never do that. I never I'm always looking at you like I'm talking to you, but it looks like I'm looking not at you. I never actually look at the camera.
It's weird because yes, most of the time when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at the screen, which is not directly into the camera right there. So he said, "Well, listen, I'm pretty sure that there's a couple things that are above me in your life. Your wife and your kids.
What had happened was,
and maybe your job." But I don't think there's anything else more important because Blue, let's be honest, Blue is one of my internet besties. You know what I mean? Rashani is my internet bestie, and I think Blue is one of my internet besties. Because I actually talk to Blue in places, we'll send a text message or we'll send the private messages in Discord talking about stuff that's not for everybody else to see. Because mostly we talking shit about people. Well, okay, let's be honest about this. I'm talking shit about people. Me. And Blue is just well, yeah. Man, so it's been a few weeks. I have not played a whole lot of anything different. There's an update to The Division, and I've been playing that most of anything else. I played a little bit of live, but for the most part, I've only really played The Division. And so, there really isn't much to say except for talking about some of the new stuff. Mm-hmm. So when we get to that part, we can talk about that part. And but I have watched some stuff, and there's one thing I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's one thing I really want to talk about. But we'll get to that when we get to the things that we watching. I'm behind on a lot of stuff to watch. Like behind on a lot of stuff. I need to get to some things. But man, how's your couple weeks have been?
Um, they've been good, but like it's always like the same old shit, you know. And I'm getting a little disenchanted with the same old shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I need to change up some shit. Cause it's just like going to work and then coming home and playing some video games, and then I want to do something else.
Okay, here's what I think it is, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think you're starting to feel a little bit of senioritis. Like, you know, like how that how you start feeling when you know you about to be out of school.
Yeah.
And so you start like feeling like really kind of blasé about school in general. I think you're feeling that way about your life because you're making plans to leave where you are.
Right.
And I think some of that is like that's going to be in the future, but you're still looking forward
This is like this is my last 2 weeks. I know I ain't gonna be here, so I'm gonna, whatevs, type thing.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think you got a little bit of senioritis. But I mean that's not uncommon, especially when you're in a situation like yours where you're looking to move to fucking Kentucky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's not, it's not like you're looking to like change cities or whatever like that. Like I did. You're moving to a whole nother state.
Yeah, I actually never did that before. I mean, I've moved all throughout North Carolina, and North Carolina isn't a small state. I mean, it's not as big as like Texas or whatever, but you're like, oh, Texas is big, but there's a lot of like nothing in Texas. North Carolina is like big, and like there's a lot of everything. Like there's a lot of towns in North Carolina.
I've never lived outside of Virginia. I mean, I spent most of my life until a few years ago living between Hampton and Newport News. So like that's pretty much all I knew until I moved here. And the crazy part about it is because I'm broke, there's still a whole lot about here that I haven't experienced. Like, because there's a whole bunch of like tours and like, take this boat ride on the river and all of this kind of like really kind of cool white people shit that I haven't been able to do because I'm broke. Mm-hmm. She's really fucked up because like the worst thing about it was like when I moved in on my own, like I was barely surviving, and like there's things that I want to do that I just technically can't really afford to. Like I really want to get back into making more candles and really expanding my website and my reach and all of that kind of stuff. I just ain't got the money to do that shit because everything is more expensive now. Like everything is more expensive. I go to the store and just buy groceries for me, and like I don't have much in my cart, and it was just like $70. Like, how the fuck did this get to be $70? Like, you know what I mean? Like shit like that.
And you don't really notice it per item if it's something that you just kind of don't really notice. But there's certain things that you sense maybe they were an item you only get one of, and you know exactly how much that is. And the one thing, I mean, I don't know if you eat a lot of guacamole and shit, but like the one thing that I know how much was an avocado is because they priced them each, not by weight. And that like a couple of years ago, they were always, which I thought was too expensive then, was $1 each. And now they're like $3.50 or something.
Agree. Yeah, I think for me it's like I'm going to the store and I'm buying the same shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm replenishing shit that I had previously. Oh, my fucking fridge stopped working. And I didn't have a new fridge for like almost 2 weeks. So like I had a lot of stuff in my fridge. Now I have a separate upright freezer. So I technically had to just go in and just fucking freeze everything.
Right.
I had to just fucking freeze everything because in everything that I could freeze, I had to freeze. So I didn't have a regular fridge. So like part of what happened to me a couple weeks ago was I went to the store to buy some of the same shit, but like of course I can't buy anything that I need to keep some that I need to have some left. afterwards. So like I couldn't really like make a whole bunch of meals that I wasn't able to eat all of it unless I was willing to freeze it and risk the shit tasting different if I froze it. You know what I mean? Like so like that shit happened. So I couldn't buy anything to like make meals. So I bought a lot of stuff that I'm just gonna eat. Like if I make this, I'm going to eat this right now.
Well, you were saying how like I think we were both saying it's hard to cook for one. So if you do like make a big stew or a soup or something like that, you can put that in baggies and freeze. I didn't know you had a freezer, but yeah, like my parents would do that all the time. Be like, "Oh, here's some soup that we made last year."
But like, do you really want to really want to freeze spaghetti? You know what I mean? Like, I get the soups and stews and shit like that, but like spaghetti, like, do you really want to do that? Like,
you could try it, and
if I make a large like cheeseburger pie, like, is like freezing this really going to change it on the get back? You know what I mean? Because of course, all of this stuff tastes so much better like when it's before it's reheated. You know what I mean? Like just normal reheated, not necessarily frozen and then reheated. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just stuff like that was happening to me. So yeah, that happened a couple weeks ago. They finally got me a new fridge on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And man, listen, I was so happy to have another fucking fridge. Like I got tired of I had a freezer and my freezer isn't necessarily the coldest. So like I had to drink a whole bunch of like warm soda because like I could make ice, but like it took like so much longer to actually make ice. So like if I make some ice, put it in the little tray, I mean the little container that I do, you know, but then like I would just that shit would go away like really fast because it's been 90 fucking degrees here.
Yeah,
so,
Blue was asking if I had a vacation plan, and like I mean, I definitely need one, like a real vacation where we don't have the kids and all that stuff. But you know, for one, that stuff is expensive, and two, I don't get PTO at my job, so if I don't work, I don't get paid. My job's a nonprofit, so
shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you only really can take a vacation around tax time.
or we'll just go to the in-laws or something, and we'll kind of make the weekend in the 4 days, like a 4-day vacation, but it being I only have to take 2 days off.
Right, I got you. I hear you. I have not been on a real vacation in a extremely long
I haven't been on a real vacation since I lived with my parents. Okay, like I'm not a big spender other than like video games and stuff, and even then I'm still not a big spender. That's why I play PC. But still, like I don't know.
Yeah, so man, so life has been interesting. But like when I talk to my therapist, right, which I'm going to tomorrow morning. I have my therapy sessions on Thursday morning. Here's the crazy part about talking to my therapist. I'm all right. It's just the people around me are fucking nuts. And like there's a lot of stuff happening with the people around me. So like I spend most of my therapy sessions for like the last couple of months. Most of my therapy sessions are me talking about the advice and the help that I'm giving other people, and I'm running it past her to so that I can understand if what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? Like hopefully I'm not giving nobody no bad advice.
Well, I'm pretty much I mean, I think I talked about it before, but now I've took away Twitter and Instagram off my phone, and so now the only social media that's on my phone, which I don't consider really a social media since I kind of can control what I look at, is Reddit, and that's because I only see shit that I want to see, which is mostly nerd shit and funny shit.
I do a lot of social media mostly during the week. On the weekends, I'm very light on social media because what happens to me is like work is kind of slow. It's kind of up and down. There are some days where work is kind of busy in the morning and then there's just not much happening in the afternoons. And then like So I do a lot of like looking on Facebook, occasionally looking on Twitter. I've been on Twitter a little bit more. I've never been a big Instagram person. Like, and people send me links and stuff to Instagram, so I'll go look at what I'm supposed to look at, and then I usually close Instagram. I've never been a huge Instagram person.
Well, my Instagram wasn't the worst one because it was mostly stuff. There's a lot of bands, a lot of record labels, and I'll just see, oh, this is cool. There's a new variant of this record or whatever. But so it wasn't the worst one, but I was just like, I need to get rid of all of it, so I just did it.
It depends on what type of person you are to whereas which one is the worst. If you are down for some fuck shit, and just you one of those people that you love, like watching people go at it and you like seeing drama and stuff like that, then Twitter is your guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Twitter is your guy. If you want to see like people that you've known pretty much most of your life, say some really dumb shit, like, and you're just kind of like, okay, but like, keeping up with family and stuff like that, and seeing what everybody's going on, saying your happy birthdays and all that kind of stuff. That's what Facebook is for, to me, anyway. I have slowly transitioned to Facebook main. I'm a Facebook main,
which is funny. Like the Gen Z see Facebook more as like the Walmart of social media.
Yes. My daughter has a Facebook page, and she sees it as the place where old people are. But I told her to get the Facebook page so she can be closer to family, because like a lot of my family have Facebook pages and all of that kind of stuff. And like,
I need to tag you in this picture. It's so adorable.
No, it's not just that. It's just like, when I actually spend time around family and I have my daughter with me, it's like, she was taken away from them and moved to Maryland when she was really young. So she didn't really have, like, she was 6 when all of this stuff really went down, like 5 or 6. So when all of this stuff really went down with my separation and all that kind of stuff, she was really young. So all of these people that she really knew, like, she didn't know them anymore. And it's just like, no, like, I really want you to know who these people are, because if something happens to me, like, these are the people that are going to keep your connection alive to the family, and subsequently on some level to me, because these are my family, these are the people that I love, like that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted her to have a Facebook. Blue said he hates Facebook, but I am a Facebook main. And see, here's the thing about Facebook. Facebook, when we talk about the ills of social media and how what changed in our society is crazy people were able to find people that thought like them, we're really talking about Facebook. Yeah. Twitter is something completely different. Like, you can find people that speak your personal brand of crazy. I mean, I know we're really supposed to stop using the word crazy, but I'm gonna use it anyway. When you need to find people that speak your personal brand of crazy, you go to Facebook, because that's where they are. And that's, you can find them very easily. So, but like, I Facebook is my main, and I'm not one of those people that, like, when Trump won, they got rid of all of their conservative friends and stuff like that. I like to laugh at people too. You know what I mean? Why would I get rid of all of my conservative friends? First of all, I like to laugh at people. Second of all, I need to know what they fucking think of me. And people who think like me, like, I really need to know this. Like, there's a part of me that like wants to understand my world and like everything that's a part of my world. And that,
but I've known you for a while, and I would consider you maybe a third conservative. I don't know. I know some like super lefties, and you're not anywhere close to them.
I've always said I'm left of center. That's how I say. Is it Google is finally going to merge Duo and Google Meet, so Hangouts successor will live on. I still use Hangouts. I've never switched to Google. I've never switched to the Google messaging platform, whatever the fuck that shit is called. I still use Hangouts. and I still use.
Yeah, I don't like that. Well, Google Messaging is just Gmail. It's like built into Gmail, and I don't like it because when I go to Gmail, I'm going for email. I'm not going for chats.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I still use my Hangouts app. And I've never switched over. I still, but right now, Hangouts is where I talk to my daughter and my ex-wife. That's mostly who I talk to there. Everybody else has pretty much gone away from there, into other platforms and things like that. To like Discord and things of that nature. So. But like when I need to speak to my daughter, or if I need to speak to my daughter and my ex-wife, or just speak to my ex-wife, I have 3 separate rooms for that. Like I can speak to each one of them personally, and then we have one where the 3 of us are in there, where we can have a conversation between the 3 of us. But so I still use Hangouts every day, like for real. I still use that every day. He said, "Don't fall into that trap. Don't let one line of thought define who you are." I am someone that defies expectation. And I am a chameleon. Like I can fit into most situations. Like I said, my coworkers think that I am a completely different person than you think that I am. My coworkers think I'm quiet.
you go into your job and you're like wearing a turtleneck and you have some glasses on and a coffee and you're just like, "Hello, fellow employees."
Yeah, I because I mean, here's the thing about me being at work. I was so used to being in storage where I was working mostly by myself or with one other person, and I was dealing with the public directly. Now I work in an office full of people. Like the guys come and go when they're going to or coming from their jobs. The office staff. There's about 5 or 6 of us, and those are the people that I work closely with every day, and like all of them have their own issues. So like me going to work kind of makes me feel better about my life. You know what I mean? I don't say too much because a lot of them got shit going, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? My shit ain't so bad. Like, you know what I mean? My shit ain't so bad. Like, to be honest, I don't have any like real issues in my life right now. My only issues are financial, for what we talked about earlier. My only real issues in life right now are financial. And
Argyle sweater vest.
Right. If Scar ever shows up with a sweater vest, I'll pass out. I used to have a couple of sweater vests, but let me tell you,
Argyle.
They weren't Argyle. They were solid color.
Okay.
They were solid. I loved those things. Like I really did. But I'm also fat, so like the more layers that I have on, the hotter I get. Even when it's freezing cold out, I can deal with the cold way more than I can deal with summertime. Like these last couple weeks, where it's been up and down between the 80s and 90s here, have been the worst for me.
It hasn't been so humid, or at least down here. Like it has been tolerable. I mean, it's been hot, but there's been some swampy days, like right after it wanes, and you feel like you're just like swimming. That's the worst.
Yeah, that is definitely the worst. Humidity is the absolute worst. But I'm not close. I'm not where I am now is not as bad as where I used to be. Because remember, I used to live right on the coast.
Right.
You know what I mean? I used to live right on the coast, so humidity was the worst there. I'm a little bit more inland, so I'm not dealing with it as bad. It's just like I just don't like heat. I don't like the heat at all. And like even when it's cool outside, if I got on a sweater vest, that's way too many layers for your boy. And like my underboob sweat is like the worst. And like I have to put on extra deodorant under my underboobs to make sure that my shit doesn't bleed through my shirt. Which, to be honest, I got a little bit of bleed through right now, but you can't really see it because it's cut off in the video. Because it's fucking hot. I'm upstairs and it's fucking hot.
Oh yeah, that's one thing is like when you're podcast, you can't have no fans going. Right.
Well, I do have my ceiling fan going right now.
Well, ceiling fan ain't loud as a regular fan, dude.
Right, and it's giving me a little something, but it's not giving me nearly enough of what I need right now. So But yeah, man. So like, I think I would probably, if my finances was right, I think I would dress a lot differently, like a lot differently, like a lot more button ups, like that type of
I
stuff.
think I would too. I've always wanted to do one of those like things to where you can order and say I want this style and kind of like get like a work, but I just don't have the money for that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
my cousin, his girlfriend,
Stitch something I think it's called.
was one of those stylists for one of the early ones, like years ago. One of the ones where you get your measurements and then you kind of tell what's the style that you're kind of into or whatever like that, and you get a monthly box of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was one of the stylists that was actually working with dudes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so she, you tell her what your shit is and she'll go find it and, kind of put the box together and you get the shit directly from her. She was one of them people. And she's really cool. She's really about fashion and all of that kind of stuff.
I mean,
I'm not really a fashion dude. Like I love the kind of classic man look, like, like a button up.
Have you seen the pictures to where like they'll have like a famous actor or whatever, like maybe like Robert Pattinson or something, and be like, what the hell is he wearing? And it just looks like regular clothes, and right. You're like, it just looks like regular. Why can't he wear regular clothes?
Yeah, like, does he need to look like a fucking sparkly vampire every day? No. Like, sometimes there's a picture of Adam Sandler taking his kids to the his kids to school or something like that, and he's just walking with his kids to school, and he got like some sweatpants. He's looking kind of frumpy. He got sweatpants. He got a little jacket or whatever like that, and he looks a little bit disheveled, like he just woke up and just put that on so he can walk his kids to school. And people were just like, "Why does he look homeless?" No, he just look like a regular fucking dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just look like a regular fucking dad. Like, I get it. The fact that he's a multimillionaire, like, doesn't change the fact that when he's not on, he's a regular fucking dad.
Right, right.
Now they're doing the whole thing about the short shorts for dudes. Have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, there's been a thing going on between Facebook and I know that my Facebook and Twitter and your Facebook and Twitter are two completely different places. Well,
I get some bleed through. I mean, because I do follow different people.
Yeah, so there's a thing going on right now about what they call hoochie daddy shorts. And basically, you know the motherfucking high school that used to wear the soccer shorts all the time. It's just like, wow, those look way too fucking small for you, dog. But like, you know what I mean? Like the soccer short dude used to always wear those fucking shits. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like those kind of shorts are kind of going back in style where chicks kind of want you to show a little bit of thigh if you a dude. And I'm just kind of like, nah, dog. If my shorts don't come to my knee, I'ma sag these bitches and make them come down to my knee. We are not gonna be. It ain't no thigh meat coming from your boy.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I mean, I've got used to it a little bit with some shorts to where my it would be above my knee a lot, but like in high school, it was definitely because I remember what brought this up was actually a thing about Fred Durst. There was like, oh man, I think this new metal style is going to come back. I was like, it just looks like Fred Durst is always dressed like a dude in cargo shorts. And that's the one thing, like ever since like 2015 or so, there's been like a war against cargo shorts. I was like, what's wrong with cargo shorts?
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with cargo shorts? That part I don't understand. I got a couple cargo shorts and they were fucking greatness. I don't understand no heat. I understand why.
I did get some. This is a couple years ago. I was like, oh cool. I used to have a pair of these, and I bought me a pair of Dickies shorts. I was like, okay, well this is a little too much. They were like half down, like this is way past the knee.
Right. It's like, but like what they're talking about now is like them shits. What's those shits used to be called back in our day when they used to wear those little shorts? They used to call, what they were called, Umbros? Was it called Umbro? Was the brand called Umbro? Yeah, Umbro with the soccer shorts and Umbro shorts, like 100%. Yeah, it's called Umbro.
Well, the Dickies I don't know if is that's like how you pronounce it. The villain. If the soccer shorts are the hero, Dickie shorts are the villain. They're like the complete opposite. But I think the
Absolutely.
Dickie shorts, the whole purpose of those is that they're work shorts. You don't, if you want to get down on your knees, you don't want your knees showing. You want something.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, man. So the whole hoochie daddy shorts trend is going on right now, and I'm like, I can't roll with this. Ain't no thigh meat from your boy. That is probably going to be the show title, thigh meat. I think that's the show title.
I don't know. If a dude could rock it, if a dude could rock it, I'm a little. I could probably be a little bit envy. Like I wish that I was you know, because if I tried to rock it, I would just look like Patrick Starr in some hoodie short.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. But yeah, I'm just not that into what I wear. Like I put little effort into it. I used to in high school and in college, but in the past 10 or 15 years, it's just been t-shirts and basketball shorts.
Yeah, I mean, I have to, I can't wear sweatpants to work, so like I have to, like for real, for a long time, like I would not wear jeans. I did not wear a lot of jeans.
I never thought Amber likes me to wear jeans, but I've never thought that jeans were comfortable. I always felt like I need to get them off and put on something comfortable every time. Right,
because they it was kind of like, okay, so what you call it? We ain't talking to her. There's a famous story, right, of Swiss Beats, the record producer, meeting Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson he gave Michael Jackson his first pair of Timberlands.
Okay.
Michael Jackson tried them on, and he was just talking about how like they just felt so heavy. You know what I mean? Like they like just walking, they just felt so heavy.
Like you're just clomping around.
Right. Yeah. It was kind of like that Lugs commercial where it was the song that went with them walking, and every time they took a step, it was like din it. That's kind of how you felt. I mean, I guess that's kind of how Michael Jackson felt when he was walking. It was just like every step felt like something. Like it shouldn't. Every step in these days shouldn't feel like something. I should just feel like I'm walking. But but that's how I felt about jeans. I just felt like jeans were just too heavy. Like for real. It was weird. So I didn't wear a whole lot of jeans, and besides, I couldn't wear jeans to work. So I stopped buying jeans. Like, you know what I mean? Like the jeans that I had were jeans that I've had for a long time, and jeans that I've had when I was a much larger person. So like all of my jeans were like size 50, like wide leg jeans, because I didn't like it rubbing up against my thigh meat.
We come up of age in our during the Jinko era, so
yeah, I had some Jinkos, but I ain't had like the crazy Jinkos. I had the regular Jinkos, like the ones that were just kind of wide pants, and you just kind of go from there.
I had some over the shoe Jinkos, so
yeah, I didn't have those. I didn't have the ones that look like motherfucking, I don't know what the fuck you call it, like the ones that just look like just a lot of fucking material. it was like, that's a lot of material with some fucking pants. Like, calm the fuck down, dude. But I mean, that was the thing. But like the jeans that I had previously, they were all like fucking huge. Like really fucking huge. I mean, like, because I don't wear that size now. I lost a whole lot of weight in my lower half. Like my butt's gone and all of this kind of stuff. So like I'm down to like a size 40 in pants. Like for me, that is a huge fucking deal, because I used to have to buy 50. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just yeah. So like, when I got this job and I had to start buying pants, and like I had to go try them on because really they were talking in the chat. I had to like try pants on, and I'm just kind of like, this is weird. Like having to try on pants and like it's like, oh shit, I don't wear 50s anymore. Like trying on new pants and all of this kind of stuff. It was like really fucking weird. So but like so now I finally wear jeans. But I noticed something a few months ago, or actually kind of a few months ago, like last year. I bought some jeans, right? And the only size that they had the only pants that they had in my size were kind of like dude jeans, but they were stretchy jeans.
You probably wouldn't like these, but like, because I did, once I got out of the Jinko phase, wanted pants that fit, right? And to get, well, at the time, the only way to get ones that fit right, because everything was really baggy, was to get like more of like a skinny fit, right? And at Old Navy, they had a skinny fit that was also stretchy, and it wasn't skinny like these dudes, like you see them, and it looks like skin tight, like they're wearing girl jeans. It just seems like regular jeans. You know what I mean?
It wasn't jeggings, like because some of these dudes be actually wearing jeggings, which I think is fucking weird.
Right? Yeah. So, but the thing is, that's weird is again, jeans are weird. Is that they're a little too small, but I'm still having to pull them up all the time. Like
Yeah, I had that issue with my stretchy pants also, and I hated them when I first started wearing them. But once I broke them in a little bit, I was like, hey, I kind of like these, and the material was thinner. So that works out. That works out good for you, boy. Also, we are really having a conversation about jeans. I just realized that we've been sitting here talking, I don't know for how long, about fucking jeans. Like,
I mean, we could just like move over to CRISPR, so talk about jeans, gene therapy.
No. I have to talk about jeans a lot on the other show that I do. So I don't want to talk about jeans here. Because the Return of Oswald podcast, we're now doing Orphan Black.
Okay.
So I have to talk about jeans quite often.
Nice.
And Orphan Black is fucking phenomenal. If you have any interest in Orphan Black, they took it off of Amazon Prime. So like you got to find it elsewhere.
I wanted to bring this. Kind of goes into a topic I kind of wanted to talk about because, like, I think we were.
Wait. Let me finish this. But if you have watched it and want to hear like three guys basically talk about it in detail, I have seen it multiple times. Rashani has seen it once, and Brandon has not seen any of these at all. So like we all have different views on it because like Rashani is like talking about, like Brandon has seen it for the first time, so he's seeing everything with fresh eyes. I've seen it a lot, so like the idea, like I know everything that's coming, so like there's a lot that I can't say when some of the conversations happen, and then Rashani is watching it for the second time, and he's noticing things he didn't notice before. Like that type of stuff, and I think it's a really good show. Return to Oswald, but those episodes are called Another One. You should check out that. I actually bought a Return to Oswald shirt. I'm wearing my Nepo shirt right now. Actually,
nice.
I'm wearing my Nepo shirt right now, but I actually bought a Return to Oswald shirt because I wanted to support the bro, and they were having a sale. The website was having a sale that he went through. T Public or something like that, T Republic or something of that nature. But Rashani has the information or whatever. So I ordered a shirt. I probably shouldn't have ordered the shirt. Financially, I thought I was in a position to swing it, and then once everything kind of settled and my accounts settled, I was short for something that I thought that I shouldn't have been short for. So fun times for me. But
yeah, it happens. Man.
But yeah, so check that out. And is really picking up steam. Like the things that Rashani is doing to like get the show out there is really good for us. And we getting some feedback on shows and stuff like that. I know once I'm in a better financial position, I'm probably going to do the same thing that he's doing, where he has a service automatically retweet shows and all of that kind of stuff. And they were like retweeting shows because like we have one feed, but this is our third show we've done on this same feed. It's called Return to Oswald because it started off with the show Oz, the HBO show Oz, and then we moved to Playmakers, and then we moved now we're on Orphan Black, and there's plans to, we already have ideas for what we want to do next after this, but this service actually just constantly retweets out the show and all that kind of stuff, and it's gotten us some engagement, and I was really thinking about wanting to do that for this show so we can get our name out there a little bit. And the service is called Podcast Overlord. They have
cool Podcast Overlord, huh?
Mm-hmm. And I think it's like, I think the service is like, it's like $20 or something like that for 3 months.
Okay.
And yeah, so like it's really good, and I think there's an ad at the beginning of another one, and I believe there's a discount or something like that, or a referral code or something like that Rashani has.
Okay. But yeah, well, I also wanted to bring up a little bit when we have guests, we probably need to start doing guests that also have current podcasts, because we always just want to like do our friends and stuff. Or normally we like to get people that people haven't heard from in a while, which is really cool, but doesn't really do a lot for cross pollination.
See, I'm bad for cross pollination because I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts these days. It's really bad because my commute is 8 minutes. So like, and that's really when I'm listening to podcasts. I don't really listen a whole lot at home. I do a lot of YouTube when I'm at home. So I don't really listen to a whole lot of podcasts. So like all of that stuff pretty much has to come from you, because it can't really come from me because I can't listen to a whole lot.
I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts either. I just have a few. I mean, my main ones are like, I have Chaffee's, I have PSVG, I have Rojas's podcast with trees, and that was disappointing. But I felt like I was going to sneeze, and it just went away.
Okay, yeah, that sucks, because here's the problem with that: whenever you feel like you're going to sneeze, and then it just kind of goes away, then when it comes back, it sneaks the fuck up on you, and you're just like, "Fuck, man! I didn't mean to sneeze into the microphone." And now my fucking microphone.
Yeah, because I can pause. I can mute disc or OBS, and you will hear it, but they won't hear it. So sometimes I'll do that, like if I'm coughing or if I'm eating chips or something, I'll mute the OBS. You guys think I'm being an asshole, but I'm actually being good. But yeah. But anyway, the thing I wanted to bring up is that you were talking about Orphan Black and how it's not on Prime anymore, and I was noticing. I'm not going to say from personal experience. I'm just going to say, because I have heard that like when you go to like places like Pirate Bay and stuff like that, like if you're trying to look to pirate music, you're probably in a bad spot, because there's not really much out there anymore. People don't give a shit about pirating music. You might find some really popular things, maybe, but for the most part, you're not going to be downloading the discography of.
There's too many streaming services.
Right. But there's too many good streaming services that have pretty much killed music piracy. Which is like, you can pick whichever one you want, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, it don't matter. They're going to all, even Tidal, they're going to all have pretty much mostly the same thing, give or take a couple of exclusive things, but it's mostly, you can get Spotify and have pretty much every music that's ever been released. Yeah. Even some local bands that have.
My nephews are rappers who can find their music on these streaming services.
Right. But if you're looking for freaking movies, you're looking for The Mandalorian, you're looking for Stranger Things, you can find that shit in pristine quality in a thing that looks like a legit website, to where you're going to go watch a movie. It has the titles and everything and reviews of the movies, just like it looks like a legit site, and it's totally a pirate site. And that shit is booming because the movie industry is so far behind the music industry on that shit, because there is no service
I think the biggest problem with that, here's the problem. Here's why the movie and TV industry is behind all of that. Because when it comes to music, basically have 3 or 4 places that you would really go. now every fucking channel has their own streaming service. Like, you know what I mean? Like every channel pretty much has like their own streaming service. Like you got the Netflix stuff, you have Hulu, you have Disney Plus, you have Amazon, you have the Paramount shit, you have like, you know what I mean? Like everybody has their own shit. And it's starting to, it's too fucking spread out to whereas like, yeah, if I really want to see everything that I need to say and everything I need to see or everything that I want to see, like I gotta have a lot of different services, and at that
and
point,
it still doesn't have everything. You're not gonna find like some random niche movie on Netflix that you might have to get the Criterion streaming service for, or some sort of weird horror like Shudder or something. To find this weird movie because it's not like something that's making a lot of money for Netflix, so they're not going to have it up there. And but on Spotify you can find like you just said, your nephew shit, because there needs to be like companies like say Netflix or Amazon or Hulu and being like, okay, we're all pretty much the same thing and we welcome everything to have it, just like Spotify. Or else
that's why I thought that Disney fucked up when they bought Fox. They should have combined Hulu and Disney Plus. They should have just kept one or the other and put everything there. The fact that they kept Hulu separate from Disney Plus fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like they bought all of that stuff. They bought all of the stuff, but then they decided to keep it separate. And why? Like it makes no sense for them to keep it. And then like when they finally got their Marvel shows back from Netflix, like Disney Plus had to do a whole thing where they had to actually put like age gating on their service because those shows are mature.
Right,
and they didn't have mature content on their service. So like then they had to add a whole age gating system.
Yeah, the most mature thing was The Simpsons, and that's pretty tame by
Yeah, comparison. I mean, you would never think it was that tame, like the way that our parents were acting when the shit came out. But but like you know, I mean, like people look down on The Simpsons, and then like South Park slid for a long time. But yeah, I think there needs to be some sort of consensus in consolidation of all of these streaming services. I guess a lot of these people saw what Netflix was doing and was like, well, we could do our own shit. We could take our shit off Netflix. And
yeah, but like Spotify has been $9.99 since its conception. Netflix is continuously raising the price
and losing more and more shit.
And then wanting to like charge you for sharing passwords and stuff. Make a family sharing thing. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Xbox is going to do it. Xbox is going to do a Game Pass sharing family plan.
Right.
Because right now, I mean, me and Pooh Bear game share.
Did you know with Spotify, if you get the family plan, which is $20, it's double what the regular thing is, but you get six different profiles.
I pay for the YouTube Premium, and I think I have 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now it's only 3 of us on my YouTube thing, and it's me, Pooh Bear, and my ex. We all have it still. I mean, I never took my ex off of it because me and my ex are still cool, and I still have 2 more that I can use if I really wanted to use it that bad, like that type of thing. And like me, my boss uses my Amazon. And like when it was time to pay the shit, because we pay for a year in advance. When it was time to pay the shit, he just gave me some money for it. Me, him, and my cousin, we all went in on it to split it.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's so crazy. It's so big. Like movie and music or TV piracy is so huge, and music is like it's easier just to buy the shit than to try to wait freaking 24 hours to download a Metallica album. I mean, right?
Yeah.
But it's all about and that shows to me it's never been about trying to get something for free. It's always been about convenience.
About the shit where Metallica tried to do some sort of live stream and they got the DMCA strike on their own shit.
No, but that's hilarious.
That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, that I think that happened like maybe it was a couple years ago or something like that. But then 100% like Metallica was doing some sort of a live stream or something like that, and they got struck on their own shit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's never been about money. People will pay for convenience, right?
That's what Apple taught us. That's the reason why a lot of these download places for music ended is because Apple made it so much easy. Like if I really want this song, it's just a fucking $1.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dude, it's easier for me to download this shit for $1 than for me to wait.
They went in so hard on Napster, like it's going to like destroy everything, and I was like, okay, is it really? I mean, I just waited a whole day to get this song in 128 bits that sounds so swishy. When you're hearing a cymbal, it sounds like really that's going to destroy the music industry. This crappy freaking quality music, you know. But
yeah, I like so I didn't even know BitTorrent was still a thing. I got off that train a long time ago.
It is for movies and TV because I think they're just so far behind. But the weird.
I thought most people switched to like Fire Sticks.
Well, like Kodi and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think some people do. But I mean, you gotta torrent it first, right? To get it going. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works.
I heard the Kodi for Xbox doesn't work anymore.
I don't know. I had a buddy.
You used to be able to put Kodi on your Xbox, and apparently it doesn't work anymore.
Mm.
I think I used it like once.
But yeah, the one thing that I can say that music has over movies and TV is the fact that music. That was the whole thing. That why is Metallica going off about this? Bands do not make their money off of CD sales and record sales. They make it off of merch and concerts. Movies don't have merch and concerts. I mean, they may have a little. You can find like a Stranger Things shirt at Target, but that's not like their main thing, right? Movies have box office, and that does sell a lot. That's where most of their money comes from, is the box office. So if they're going to combat that, they need to stop this exclusive video on demand stuff. You know, every movie needs to go to the box office, not release on a streaming service first, because
I think when the pandemic hit and movies were releasing directly to the streaming services, I enjoyed that a whole lot more because I hate going to the movie theater. Right now, I still haven't seen Doctor Strange, and I really want to. I just do not want to go to the movies. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I liked it. I like it too. But I'm just talking about like a business standpoint, to where if they want their streaming service to combat piracy, they've got to get a revenue make the streaming service cheap and have it have everything like Spotify, and have your revenue be your concert, your movie tickets, you know.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. All right. But speaking of streaming services, I have music streaming services. I listened to the Kendrick Lamar album, the new Kendrick Lamar album, a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
And man, listen, a lot of people don't like it. But I like it because so far out of his whole career, this has been the most personal he's ever been. Mm-hmm. Talking about going to therapy and working through some of his issues and things that have happened to him in the past that he talks about on the album, and he talks about like the things that I don't think there's a running theme throughout most of the album, and there's like after a song or something like that, you hear someone tap dancing. You hear someone tap dancing, and it was like, you know, it's basically like these are conversations that we need to have with ourselves and with our people, and stop tap dancing around the issues. So there's a theme of that throughout the whole album. I really enjoyed it. It's not something that I'm going to listen to when like I want to listen to a bop. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
well, he's never really been about that. He's never been a banger.
But yeah, he's had bangers.
He's not Flow Rider. You know what I
mean? Right. I mean, he's had some jams that you want on your playlist. But this is long form storytelling. In the way that a lot of artists don't do. It's very personal in a way that a lot of artists aren't. It's way more honest. And like there's one song on the album, and it's really the whole song is an argument between between him and his girlfriend. Like that's the whole song, and like they are really arguing with each other, and they're taking shots at each other, and they're just doing shit to piss each other off. And like, you know, I know that if I say this thing right now, it's going to hurt you, type thing. But but obviously this sounded like a conversation that they needed to have, and like they needed to drop the pretenses and be honest with each other, and like, you know, I mean, I enjoy it for that. What do I say this is his best album? Absolutely not. I would give it an 8 if I'm doing a rating scale. There's a couple that I like more than this.
What's your favorite? Well, I mean, are you the type of person like me that can tell the difference between someone's best and your favorite?
My favorite, honestly, is one of the earlier ones. Is Section 80. Section 80. Such well crafted, and like as a young man he was just so light years beyond what a lot of people's understanding was. Like it was like, it's like Section 80 is a young man coming to his own, looking around, and like,
you wanna wear these?
This is what no. This is what
like, I like the old stuff better.
No, never. I'm not one of those people, because I really like Damn. To Pimp a Butterfly, which is most people's favorite of his, it didn't hit me in the same way. But I really like
that one a lot, but I think I like Mad City more.
Good Kid, Mad City. I think Good Kid, Mad City is second for me, because it was telling a story. I like the fact that it tells a story, and like Damn, the way that Damn tells a story, and like you play the album, and then you reverse all of the songs. You play them backwards, and it tells a completely different story.
Yeah, because then it'll be like yep.
No, you're not playing it in reverse. You're reversing the track list.
I know, but
but like there's some stuff that there's some really clever things. Like on Section 80, there's a song called No Makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about a guy asking if his girl, you know, do you mind if you don't wear makeup today? But it seems like a lot of people with a lot of different voices asking, if it, you know, a lot of people saying the "do you mind" part, and like you don't really notice that a lot until you get to the end of the song. And she speaks about the no makeup thing, is like, she goes like, what he doesn't know is I have a black eye. And then he says continued 11. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you get to track 11 and you realize that she's a prostitute on the side. And that's part of why she's wearing the makeup, because in the part of being a prostitute, she was assaulted. Like, you know what I mean? And like the life that the life that she led that led her to that moment. And like, you know, like there's like things like that, and it's just like I mean that's where I say, like, I truly believe that Kendrick Lamar is one of the geniuses of our time. And that's the reason why he's the first rapper to have a Pulitzer. He won a Pulitzer for To Pimp a Butterfly. Actually has a fucking Pulitzer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But I really enjoyed this, but it's introspective. It's not a bop. And I think that's
what when you were
people...
talking about Damn, I haven't listened to that really since that year that it come out. And that one definitely has more turn up type songs. And
yeah, it has a few. But then there's also the songs that make you think about some things, and there's a couple of things there. Like he constantly makes you think, and And another thing, I started, I watch a lot of people doing reaction channels and stuff like that on YouTube. Mostly a lot of music reaction channels, and I found a new one, and it's this guy. He is a jazz pianist.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun to say. He's a pianist. And I'm trying to find his shit right now so that I can tell you his name. But I love his insights into music. And like one of the crazy things is called Music Shed. And one of the cool things about him is he's always doing his reactions with a keyboard in front of him. And some of the cool things that he does is like he's like pointing out like the chord structures and things of that nature. And like he can listen to a song, and while he's listening to a song, you can see him kind of fiddling around, and like he figures out how to fucking play the shit like right there on the spot, just like listen to the song. Now, we'll tell you, Music Shed, he pauses a lot to talk. Pauses a lot. So if you're one of those people that want them to listen to the whole shit then talk about it, this ain't your guy. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoy him, and there's a lot of things where there's a lot of times where he will like this the episode would start, and like right at the beginning of the episode he just plays something, and he's just playing on the keyboard and just kind of like playing just anything, and he's just kind of just enjoying himself. And I love his he's a Jewish dude, but I love his reverence for black music. But he listens to a whole lot of stuff, and he does these things where he'll do like what's called a 5-by, where he will listen to 5 songs by an artist or a band. But like I think like one of his sons or someone like that that's behind the camera that you never see. They will pick songs like over the course of like a band or an artist's career, so like he can see like what they were at the beginning and how they progressed and how their sound progressed and things of that nature. He did a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs. He didn't do the whole album because I mean it's basically 18 songs. Like a double album, but like a lot of the songs are short, so it's only like 70 minutes total. So like it technically isn't, but it is that type of thing. But he did a deep dive into Kendrick Lamar's new album and listening to different songs and things of that nature. And like I really, really enjoyed his content. I subscribed after listening to a few things, and then I went back and I watched some of his other stuff, and I watched some of his 5-bys for like Incubus and all of this other like other bands and stuff like that. Bands that personally he's never heard before. His Linkin Park 5-by was very interesting. Of how he was noticing like the differences in their sound going through different albums and things of that nature. Like it's really like it's very kind of music nerd. I'm way more into music nerd shit than I am anything else these days. But like if you have any bone in your body that is interested in something like that, check out Music Shed. I really dig that dude.
Cool. Like the only thing that's like kind of, I mean, I listen to a lot of experimental shit, but the only thing that I would consider kind of music nerdy, I guess, would be like the jam band type stuff. I'm not really into like progressive. I mean, I do like some like earlier progressive rock from the 70s, like the Pink Floyd and stuff like that. But like for the most part, when it gets really, as it goes along, like late 70s to towards the 80s, progressive rock is what became arena rock. It just got really corny and became like, Genesis, and it split off. It went arena rock and also went adult alternative. Like Genesis became like adult alternative, and then like Journey became like arena rock. You know what I mean? And I've never
So
into that shit.
you're talking about listening to the music itself, being nerdy and listen to the music itself. Like I'm talking about being nerdy to the point of someone explaining to you the music, like why this is making you like why these chords make you feel a certain way, like that type of stuff. Like the deconstruction of the music and not just listening to the music is what I'm talking about, as opposed to what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I do know that if you want to understand why pop music or any sort of, even like pop or R&B, anything that's kind of in that kind of like top 40 pop sphere, listen to a piano version. And you're like, holy shit, this song is beautiful. But you didn't notice it was beautiful because of all of the, the updo that they make to make a pop song bigger than life.
But also keep in mind that that's one thing I said I like about the music shit, because he's sitting there in front of a keyboard the whole time and he will play some things from it, and it's like he's like okay, they're using E minor, D flat, and then he will use those chords and he would play around it because I guess a lot of his music is improvisational. So it's really about he'll use those chords the way that they use them in the song, but then he'll use those chords to play something else. And it's just like, oh, that's why that works. Shit like that. So yeah, it's really, I really dig it. And I listen to a lot of reaction channels. Like I pay attention to a lot of reaction channels. There's one thing that's happening in reaction channels that I fucking hate right now. And I spoke about this on a different show. I spoke about this on Return to Oswald. Okay. So you've seen the movie 8 Mile, right?
It's been a long time.
Okay, but still, you've seen 8 Mile.
Okay.
So there are reaction channels that watch the final battles from 8 Mile without watching the movie. This shit is driving me crazy because these people have thousands upon thousands of views. But because they didn't watch the movie, they're missing so much of the references. Like why these people are saying these things to each other. Why they're speaking about Cheddar Bob shooting himself, why he starts talking about them jumping him, and why all of these things, all of this stuff is cut out because it's just the actual battles. So when you get to the last battle, the part where Cheddar Bob comes to him, and Cheddar Bob is the simple dude, but he's just like, what are you going to do? They're just going to keep saying all of these things about you. And that's when he gets the idea to say all of these things about himself in order to give Papa Doc nothing he can say in response. Didn't watch the movie, so they don't know this. And that scene is cut out because it's just these battles. It's just battle for the battle. The battle is nothing of the things that happen before it. It's nothing of the things that happen in between. And it's just weird to me. It's weird to me because there's so many references from the movie in what he's saying, especially that last thing where he goes off and talks about himself, and he talks about living in a trailer park. He talks about all of these things about himself that you learned watching the movie. These people have no fucking idea. They're just listening to him rap and they think that he's just rapping. No, he's recapping the fucking movie for you. You know what I mean? Because technically, I think someone said that Eminem basically wrote all of those battle raps at the end. Wrote all of those, and then you're missing the part where when he starts talking about the final dude, when he starts talking about he starts talking about Falcon, because Anthony Mackie played the dude that he was supposed to face at the end. When he starts talking about him, he starts talking about him personally, about his life outside of the persona that he created. Well, if you didn't watch the movie, you didn't know that his girlfriend, who the other guy in the other group ended up fucking, she told him all of that. You know what I mean? You don't know any of that. And that's the reason why, and that's the reason why he's shocked at the end of the movie. Well, spoiler alert, he's shocked at the end of the movie and he can't speak. He can't speak because Eminem talks about himself, and then he talks about him and his personal life outside of his gangster persona. But like, if you didn't watch the movie, you don't know any of this. And you don't know why he knows all of this. And you don't know why he took all of these things and he used it in his rap to win. It's like watching someone play the end of Crackdown. And you didn't see all of the things that they had to do to get to that point to be able to beat Crackdown. You know what I mean? Like you know, it's the watching someone play the end of Zelda, and like you don't know all of the things that they had to get in order to get to this point. Like all of the trials and tribulations and going back to different areas with different skills now and all of this kind of stuff to open up different areas, like, you know, like Metroid and stuff like that. Like all of this stuff, you know, like because you play Metroid and some other games, and like there's things that I can't access because I don't have these skills yet.
Right.
Then when I get to the end, I now have all of these skills. I practice them. I know what I'm doing. I can get to the end of this and I can do my thing. But like if you don't know the process, then that doesn't make that makes the end not meaningful. Me anyway. But yeah, I've seen that, and I just thought that was weird. I saw one of the people that I watch. He watched the end of 8 Mile, and I was just like, that's weird because he didn't see the movie. And then I looked it up, and like, there's a lot of people doing that, and I just thought that was just super weird. But it's a very popular video to react to. I just thought the whole shit was odd. It's really fucking odd to me.
Well, I think reaction stuff, for the most part, is kind of weird. Because it's kind of like that. I remember there was, I think it might have been Jimmy Fallon. One of those Jimmys that has a talk show. Well, I remember around 2013 or so, there was a bit that was making fun of, like, video game videos on YouTube and stuff. Being like, oh, you know, you're not playing the game anymore, you're just watching it. Well, the next step, it's this person watching playing the game. And that's kind of where we are now. Like, it has come to fruition.
Well, I mean, with the exception of the Buffalo shooting, I think Twitch has been a great thing for video games.
I think so too, but like the I'm reacting to a stream or a video is kind of weird. You know what I mean? I'm watching someone else watch something. Well, I hit the microphone.
I don't necessarily feel that same way because I watch people play a lot of games, and I watch people play a lot of games that I don't want to buy or can't necessarily afford to buy right now. If it's not on Game Pass, I ain't really getting it. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm watching people, like, the 2 Point Campus got delayed, right?
The kind of games that you're into, that makes a little bit of sense. Like, watching someone play Car Mechanic Simulator isn't going to spoil Car Mechanic Simulator for you.
Oh, but I watch people play other games. Like, my daughter watches people play, like, Telltale games and shit like that.
Yeah, but
it doesn't. But the thing about it is, for the young people, it doesn't deter them from wanting to play the game themselves.
That's weird, though.
It doesn't deter them at all, and I think that's just a difference in the generations, because you know, because my daughter watched someone play the True Colors. What's the game?
True Colors. Oh, Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. True Colors. She watched someone play that whole fucking game, and guess what? For her birthday, that's what she wanted. But she wanted to play it herself.
Right. Well, she can make the decisions herself and stuff. Do something different than push.
And she could do things a little bit differently and all of this other stuff. And like, I think
I'm just I want to do things blind. Like, I never rented movies I've already seen. You know what I mean? I've already seen it. I'm going to buy the movie to have if I want to watch it. But I wanted to
I think that's for me. I think I've gotten into a lot of reactions, so I like watching people react to things that I've seen, and that like I know what's coming, and then I do that with
Well, that's
music too.
different.
Like,
That's not what I'm saying.
no, no, no. But I like to watch people react to things that I've seen before. I like to watch people react to music I've heard before, because like seeing them react to it the first time is like experience I can never have again. But I can watch someone have.
Isn't
that
it weird
experience.
seeing someone that looks like they're probably around our age and they've never heard Rage Against the Machine before? You're like, it's hard to believe that you as a
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised because one of the most famous videos that music channels react to, there's a really good drummer called Larnell Lewis. Larnell Lewis is mostly, he's a jazz drummer, and he does like funk and so a little bit of fusion stuff, but he's never heard Inner Sandman before. So he listens to
so
Inner
he's
Sandman.
never been to a Guitar Center before as a musician.
He said he's never heard Inner Sandman before. So it's a Drumeo video of him listening to Inner Sandman, and he listens to it. Then he tries to play the drums for Inner Sandman himself. And it is one of the most popular videos. If you have especially if you have a drum focused channel, it's one of the most popular videos. Like, absolutely one of the most popular videos. I mean, Larnell Lewis himself is fucking phenomenal. He is a fucking phenomenal. And like, let's be honest, there's a couple of parts that he missed. But Larnell Lewis's drum track for Inner Sandman might be much better than Lars. And I know people shit on Lars. People shit on Lars a lot. But his drum track might be a little bit better than the original track. And like, he heard the song one time, and then he played along. And then there's another one where they give him a kind of jazz song with no drums, and then so like he listens to the song, and he has to build the the drum track basically to this song in his mind. And he plays it back. It's another Drumeo video, and it's called Larnell Lewis hears a song one time and plays it back perfectly. But like, like this, like those, I love watching those. And two of the most famous reactions I like watching they're both Snarky Puppy reactions. And they both get to points where something amazing happens, and you're just watching someone react to that for the first time. Watching someone react to Snarky Puppy's Lingus is like, it's an event. Like, when people see these videos, like, it's an absolute event because Corey Henry's solo, his key solo is phenomenal. Like, if you ever want to see someone go fucking Super Saiyan on keyboards, you need to watch that shit, because it is fucking phenomenal. And like, while he's doing his solo, one of the other keyboardists, because Snarky Puppy has several, one of the other keyboardists is looking at him, making faces, and like at one point he just like, oh my god, this is crazy. He gets up and he takes his headphones off. The guy who's making the faces, and like, holy fuck, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. The guy's like a 6-time Grammy winner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that, and Snarky Puppy with Layla Hathaway's Something, because Layla Hathaway has this skill that not a whole lot of people have, where she can sing a chord herself.
Like like more than one note at one time.
She can sing a chord, and like, watching someone react to that, and the first time she does it, you get that. Wait, what? What just happened?
So she sounds like she sounds like a Turian. It's crazy, but like, she has this ability, and like, watching people react to that is like the best thing ever. And there's a lot more that I really like watching. But like, if I see someone reacting to those things for the first time, I absolutely cannot stop myself from watching it, because I can never experience these things ever again. Well, maybe we should do some reaction videos that you bring to the table some stuff you want me to react to, and I bring to the table some stuff I want you to react to, and it won't be a part of the podcast. It'll be strictly YouTube.
I would be down for that. Like, can we? Like, do we have something where we can play like a video?
Yeah, in Discord, and then I can just also have it in here because it would be on. I'd be doing the same thing I am now, like because if I share my screen, it will also pop up here.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something that we can do, and we can do it like if we try something like this, we can do it on like an off week.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you gather some things, I gather some things, and then we can figure this out. I would definitely be willing to do that. I would love to do a reaction channel, but the thing is, like most of the stuff I've heard before, there's someone that I watch his movie reactions. I watch his movie reactions because he's a brother, but he said, I've seen all of the hood movies, but I haven't seen a lot of these movies that most people think are classics. Like he hasn't seen a lot of stuff. And so like he's watching all of this stuff for the first time.
Stuff like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. Like some of the Marvel movies, Harry Potter, like all of this stuff that was not really considered hood movies is like stuff that he's never really seen before. So like his channel is blown up because one, he seems really fucking personable. Right now he's in jail. I think he's supposed to get out like tomorrow or something like that, but he's been in jail for like the past like month or so. But like watching his videos is like a joy because like he wasn't in on all of this stuff and now he's watching all of this stuff for the first time. And like, I really enjoy I very much enjoy watching people experience these things. Like the one of the coolest videos is like people watching T-Pain's Tiny Desk concert. Mm-hmm. Because it's the first time that most people have heard him sing without auto-tune.
Right.
And like they're like, holy shit, he can actually sing. You know what I mean? Like it's like, really? Like, holy shit, like he can actually sing. So he doesn't necessarily need the auto-tune he uses. Like he's always said, it's been a tool, but not necessarily anything that he needs because that guy can actually really fucking sing. Like things of that nature. I think that might be one of the things that I use. You've never seen that, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, then never mind. Then not that. But yeah, I think I definitely can think of some things, and then you can think of some things, and then we can work that out. And I think what we would really do that day, I think it might be a good idea to record separate videos for each thing.
Well, if you want it, instead of it being live stream, we could record it and then have it be a premiere where we can be in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm down for some shit like that. I really am. Like we talked for like an hour and a half, and like we didn't really get into much consumption. Do we really want to do consumption? Because like you've been playing Destiny.
Well,
been playing Division.
Yeah, I have. Well, let me look at my Steam. Sometimes I have to remind myself what.
All right, we'll do consumption, but we're gonna do it really fast. Because
it's really just been Destiny. But like movies, there's some things on consumption that I didn't get to last time because we were kind of rushing through shit. But I saw the newest Scream movie.
How'd that go?
I actually really liked it a lot. How each
I love the original. Someone told me I should try the TV show.
How it's always been sort of playing off itself. Like the original is, of course, playing off the horror movies. When then the sequel is basically has tropes of being a sequel on purpose. And then the third one is sort of not good, but it's sort of not good on purpose because the third one is always not good, type thing. And then when they came back, it's always been purposeful. And this one is what you would consider like the new, what they would consider a requel. It's like a reboot, but also a sequel. And they make mention of that like there's a lot of links to the originals and whatnot, and Skeet Ulrich is actually in the movie, but kind of in a kind of weird way. But it's pretty cool. And
what happened to that dude?
I think it was just Scream. That's the only thing I've ever. Holy crap! I just looked on my thing. He was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What did he play? He was Thug, uncredited. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, I liked it a lot. I don't want to like spoil anything too much, but I would say one thing is that a large theme of it is kind of topical in today's media, I guess, which is toxic fandoms.
Okay.
And thank you. I was trying to like get us moving on the screen.
That makes sense.
But yeah, if you like the kind of weird, like self meta thing that Scream has always been, then I would say check it out. It's pretty good.
Toxic fandom is one of the things that I am consuming. My consumption things.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is fucking great. I'm not even a big Star Wars guy. Like, I like the movies. I don't, I'm not, like I always say, I didn't grow up with this shit, so I don't have the same feelings about it as a lot of people have. But Obi-Wan is fucking great. They released 2 episodes on Friday, and then they released the 3rd episode today. We're recording on Wednesday the 1st. So they released the 3rd episode today, and holy fuck is this shit great. But one of the main characters is an Inquisitor, and she's a black lady, and she's been getting a lot of hate and a lot of, like, people say really fucked up things to her. Basically, she's a main character and she's black, so like she's going basically through the same things that like the Asian lady in the sequels went through. And like a couple of other people, and like, fanboys of any kind can get completely the fuck out of hand. But I think
there's how like when they do a Venn diagram, it's kind of like this. I think it's more like, like the 5% crescent moon Venn diagram. Yeah. I think that is fandoms and incels. It's like there's like the crescent moons of like that aren't part of that, but it's.
But I don't get the Star Wars fans, and I don't get Star Wars fans being racist, because like your god of Star Wars, George Lucas, has been married to a black woman forever. Forever. He's been married to a beautiful black woman, and they have a great fucking life. And like, the fact that this lady is a black lady in Star Wars doesn't do anything. Like, it's like, this character could have been anybody, right? This character could have been anybody. They made her a black woman, and you know what? Oh, I just don't understand like this lady getting all.
Well, isn't that the whole thing? Is like, I thought the whole thing is you didn't want people to change characters that were already established characters to something to fit a narrative. But when you made new characters, it's still the issue. So
right. So that means that the problem wasn't the fact that we changed the characters. It just means that they're mad that the characters are black. Like, if I change a character and I make them black, and you have a problem. If I create a new character and they just happen to be black, you're still upset. So that your problem is black.
Yeah.
So, but that's been really, really stinking good. And like I said, I am not a huge Star Wars fan. I enjoy these things, but I am enjoying the shit out of Obi-Wan. And if you have not watched it, watch episode 3 as soon as you possibly can. As soon as you possibly can before you get spoiled, because there is something major that happens in the 3rd episode. I am talking major. Like the most awesome thing, that one of the most awesome things that you could think of in Star Wars happens in the 3rd episode. And watch that shit before you get spoiled, please.
Well, I don't really have too much of that problem since I'm pretty much on a social media blackout, but I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm super interested. It seems really good. I mean, I haven't watched Boba Fett, but I've liked pretty much all of the Star Wars shows, like The Mandalorian and stuff. I think they've all been absolutely fantastic. So, and what I've heard is this is no different, and I'm completely down for it. And I like that Ewan is back playing him. It's super cool that he is now like the age to where it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
and they brought back Anakin.
oh yeah,
He is Darth Vader. He's not the one in the suit, but they're in. And, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but there's early scenes of him that he's not all the way in the suit, and he has all the makeup and stuff on there, but Hayden Christensen is under there. So I think that's kind of cool. But Hayden Christensen 100% is in this series. He actually came back. And that's saying a lot, that like he stayed away from this shit for so long because of the way that the fans acted, where he's an actor. He just did what he was told. He just did what he was instructed to do. You know what I mean? Like the problem isn't him. The problem is what he was given. And like, I get it. George Lucas is your god, but like George Lucas told him to say this. George Lucas.
Yeah, but it's the thing to where like you're like, when the things get so political, but everything has always been political.
Yes.
Like the freaking Night of the Living Dead is a political movie. You know what I mean? What is it? The next, what's the one from the 70s? Dawn of the Dead it's about consumerism and all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's not just about zombies. But then it's like the guy where he was like, when did Rage Against the Machine get so political? He was like, okay, that's like saying, when did Fatback get so salty? Like,
right, exactly. Oh, that's the countryest thing you've ever said. I just want to point that out. That's the countryest thing you've ever said. And then, so that's the only thing I'm gonna talk about was consumption of what I've been watching. But I have been watching people play 2 Point Campus. It doesn't come out until August the 9th, so it really kind of sucks. Some people got some advanced copies and they're putting out videos. They can only do like the first 4 levels or whatever. So that's really cool that I get to watch that, because I really want to play it. It's on Game Pass, so I'm gonna be able to play it on the first day. So that's gonna be awesome for me. And when it comes to what I've been playing, like you said, you played Destiny. I've been playing The Division. They came out with a new update. They added a new mode called Countdown. Countdown is really difficult. Really difficult. It's an 8-player mode where you're in like 2 teams and like you're supposed to like conquer some things. And when I first started, it's very difficult, and I did not win at all. Like I did not succeed on what you're supposed to do in Countdown until I started using some of the new items. Like there's a new brand set, and that new brand set is fucking amazing. Some of the new weapons are fucking amazing. And I think if you haven't played The Division in a while and you have Warlords, you should try it. Get back into the game. Try to get some of this new stuff and then go into Countdown. You need to make sure your shit is right in Countdown though, because Countdown can get really real fast.
I kind of want to play the original one again.
I would be down to play that. I mean, when me and my homeboy,
we got a first time chat viewer. Division is amazing. Black Haze.
That's the homeboy I'm talking about.
Nice.
That's the only one I'm talking about. But yeah, we started with the first division. We started with the first division, and then we moved into the second, and we played the second one like last weekend, right? Friday and Saturday. I think it was Friday and Saturday. No, or Saturday. It might have been Saturday and Sunday. We played till like 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're just banging shit out. So hold on, wait. I didn't see what Blue said. Obi-Wan is treading the line of retelling this reluctant hero story. How many times do heroes have to rediscover themselves? Boba Fett failed because of this. Mando succeeded because it didn't do this. The racism has to stop in geekdom. I don't think it's going to stop. The racism is not going to stop. But
well, I think that's part of my doom and gloom in the past couple of years, really. I don't think anything's ever going to change, because if the 90s didn't change anything, nothing's ever going to change, right?
Racism is not going away until the aliens come. Period.
But even then, it's still racism.
Yeah, but we'll all have someone to hate.
Yeah, but because
It's kind of like what happened after 9/11. Like that's why I said I think that racism is not going to be permanently done until the aliens come, because what happened in 9/11 when we all stopped being racist towards each other because we had a common enemy.
right,
And
but
for a little stretch of time, we had a common enemy, and there was a lot of peace. I actually heard "I'm proud to be an American" on the fucking radio, and I shed a tear. Like shit, I never felt more American than right after 9/11. Like I never felt more a part of this than when racist people had someone else to look at. So that it is what it is. But he said, is trading the line between telling the story of the reluctant hero story. I don't think so. I think what Obi-Wan is doing is filling in the blanks. There, in a lot of cases, like the books and the comic books have been the ones to fill in the blanks between these movies. Because this is 10 years. This is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So, it's filling in the blanks. So like, well, okay, so what happened between there? Like we know what happened, because Rogue One happened in the middle, and like a lot of people loved Rogue One. I think this is going to be better than Rogue One if they can stick the landing. This thing can succeed in the same way that Rogue One did. Boba Fett didn't succeed because of how they went away from who the character was, and they made him very passive. Like you got the universe's greatest bounty hunter, and he was so passive. And it's just like that doesn't seem right. And then Boba Fett got saved by the inclusion of Mando. When Mando showed up in Boba Fett, the TV show, I don't give a fuck about spoiling this shit because there's been Boba Fett has been the only miss of Disney Plus so far. Period. Boba Fett is the only miss so far. Everything else that they've done is great. Like like he just said, Boba Fett sucked until the Mandalorian showed up. 100%, because at that point it became the Mandalorian. Because most of it was on what Mando was doing in this situation. It wasn't about Boba Fett anymore. And that's why the end of that show succeeded where the beginning did not. It changed that character. Obi-Wan is not changing the character, showing you how he changed after between 3 and 4. There's a lot of time between 3 and 4, and by the time you get to 4, he's an old man. So like you don't know like what happened after he decided to take that baby and go to Tatooine, and what happens when that baby gets a message to go find him. 4. Like what happened in between there. And I think this is just filling in some of those blanks. So he said we're forgetting live action Mulan. I didn't watch live action Mulan because I refuse to watch Mulan that don't have no Mushu. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't watch it. I know a lot of people really didn't like it. But technically Mulan was a theatrical release that got fucked up because of the pandemic, so they put it on Disney Plus, but it is not a Disney Plus direct thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not calling Mulan a Disney Plus miss. It is a Disney miss.
Well, people always remember the what Disney does that are good, but they always forget Disney has a lot of misses. I mean, how many sequels to like the freaking Little Mermaid are they? You know what I mean?
A lot of the straight to DVD stuff, the straight to DVD sequels are a lot of misses. I definitely see that. But I'm saying Disney Plus and the shows that Disney Plus has put on since Disney Plus has been a thing. Boba Fett has been the only miss so far.
I haven't watched
some of the things that are higher than the other. Like I would say down there, but not necessarily a miss, is Hawkeye.
I haven't heard bad things about Hawkeye.
Hawkeye is not bad. It's a mid. You know what I mean? Like it's all right. You know what I mean? It's cool. What it is.
I guess I haven't seen it yet, but when I would think about it, how can Hawkeye top WandaVision and Loki? I mean, those are so like. I mean, it can't. Yeah.
Yeah. How does a regular dude with a bow and arrow top something that's spectacular involving like magic and like multiverse stuff and things of that nature? I get it, but I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it while I was watching it. Will I ever watch it again? Likely not. I would be.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you this. Like, you said that you don't like to go to the theaters because it's loud, but don't you listen to your music really loud in the car? Or is it different?
It's different because I can control how loud. Like, I think the movie theater is super loud. Like, it's just.
How loud do you listen to your music in the car?
On 18.
18?
I think my car goes up. My max is 25.
Oh. I was like, okay, what? Because my max is like 60, but
yeah, like I think my max is 25. I listen to pretty much everything about 18. But then again, you also have to keep in mind that I am not completely closed in my car at any point. My window's always cracked at the very least because I vape.
Right.
So, and I don't, and when I'm around here, I live alone. So like, why would I listen to everything with headphones on?
Yeah.
There'll be things of that nature. So, but yeah, Division is dope. Division is dope. You should try it. But how was your Destiny stuff? And then we can wrap this up.
I like it a lot. I'm not speaking for other people, but it seems, I don't know what people would gripe about it. I haven't really dug into people hating it or anything because I don't really give a shit. I like it a lot because they added a new area, which is kind of an old area come back new. It's an old raid. The Leviathan Raid, the first raid in Destiny 2, is back, but it's now a explorable area because it's derelict. So you explore the derelict Leviathan, and there's a big public event that has multiple stages that you can do over and over and over to get loot and just do bounties. And it's super cool. It's a very cool... It's like the Leviathan, but it has like fungus and like it's all fucked up. It's pretty cool.
I heard that one of the YouTubers that I watched that talks about like Destiny and Division and stuff like that. He said that there's an issue in the community right now that one of the new classes that they introduced in the most recent the big update. It is basically invincible when you play multiplayer.
It's it may be Hunter because I mean we've always been like Warlock supremacy, but more as because we enjoyed the Warlock. But I mean, you don't kid yourself. Hunters have always been and always probably will be unless they completely take Hunters out of the game. Been the OP of the Crucible because they're. I mean, in any multiplayer, the class that is the fastest is always going to win, right? So a hunter that can slide and jump and dodge and go invisible and all this stuff is going to be beastly, right? And I think they boosted the hunter even more to where it's even worse.
Are you playing any multiplayer, or are you just playing through the?
I do play multiplayer. It's not my main deal, but I mean, I do because, I mean, if you play 3 matches, you get a pinnacle. So I definitely do that. And I still enjoy it. And Iron Banner is back, and I think it's back for, like, it's almost a permanent thing for the rest of the season, I think. Because he's down, like, in the main tower versus being up in his little cubby. So I think it's an actual, like, event versus just, oh, it's Iron Banner this week.
I got you. I never really did Iron Banner. I didn't play very much multiplayer at all. I played a decent amount of multiplayer in 1. Mm-hmm. I didn't love it. But in 2, I played very, very little.
Yeah.
Versus multiplayer, but of course I play a lot of co-op. Yeah. I would love to get back into Destiny, but I'm not paying all of that money for fucking Destiny, bro. I'm just not. And I know that I can play some of the free stuff, but like that's just not enough.
Right, but the things that are free, I mean, Crucible is always free. The Vanguard Strike playlist is all like the playlists are free, but you just can't like do the main campaigns. And I would actually say if anybody's trying to get into Destiny, just say fuck the old shit and just get the new shit because the old shit might go away at some point anyway. So
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Destiny is sunsetting.
But I don't like it. But then when I see what they did with Leviathan, it makes sense that they took Leviathan out because they brought it back, and it's like time has passed. It wouldn't make sense for them to be a living world, and there'll be, oh, you can do the Leviathan raid. Oh, but the Leviathans.
But you took away something that I paid for.
Yeah, I know.
Then made me pay for it again in a different way. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue. Like, you took away something that I paid for.
I think like, what would be better.
Some of the original content. So, like, I just can't. No, fuck that.
People wouldn't see it the same way. I don't think, but I think it would be better if all the content was free as long as you had a subscription. If you were paying, even if it was yearly, monthly, or whatever, maybe you can pay by the year, and you had to take away content, put in content, cycle out content, and it's part of your subscription. I think that would sit better, because I think that's what they're doing now. Like, when you're paying to get access to the current season and content, you're paying for Destiny right now. It might not be there before. When you paid for Shadowkeep back in the day, you were paying to play it then.
I understand that for things that's like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But the problem is they've always said that this isn't an MMO, which is fucking false. This is a stripped down MMO, but it's still very MMO-ish.
Right. We were calling it MMO light back then, but I think the term that has caught on to what this MMO light thing is that Destiny created is games as a service. That's
the reason why Sony bought them.
Because Sony doesn't have a games as a service like.
Apparently they want to come out with different games as a service, and they're going to use Destiny as like the base, and like use their knowledge from making Destiny as a base for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. I think we hit it on the head. I think we got shit. We're just short of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think we hit it. So like, thank you everybody for checking us out. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Blue and Black Haze. Check out Black Haze's podcast. I was on an episode. It got pared down a lot, but that's the homie. So check out his stuff. You can find it mostly on Facebook. There's some YouTube stuff. I could probably get a link and put some of the YouTube stuff in the chat. I mean, in the show notes. There we go. That. If I remember, I'll put that stuff in the show notes so you can check out his content. Blue needs to start coming out with content again. We're gonna put that on Blue. We can start bothering Blue about that.
Maybe he can be a part of the reaction.
That would be cool. I don't have a problem with it. But I mean, we'll have to get all of that stuff like really, because Blue a busy man. So like, I don't know if he can really be a part of that. But we need Blue back on his microphone, man.
He can't be holding the whole legacy of OFR on his back and also actually podcasting. Can he?
I mean, he can. That doesn't mean that he will. How about that? So anyway, again, thank you everybody for checking us out. We'll be back in your ear holes. Are we gonna do next week, or are we gonna do another 2 weeks? Because we skipped a week. We can do 2 weeks. Fuck it. We can do 2 weeks. That'll give me more stuff to talk about, because I really want to take some time. Like the new content in Division has taken time away from my NBA Live playing. So I want to get back into some more NBA Live, and I really do want to play something else. Like, I really do want to play something else. I have been itching to really sit down and really learn Project Hospital. Project Hospital is a PC game. I don't really like playing PC games. I don't really like sitting here at my PC. But I think I might actually try to get into that. I played a little bit, but it's a game that's way more complicated, because it's actually a real hospital and real hospital stuff, as opposed to something like 2 Point Hospital where it's all wacky.
Right.
But Blue actually bought me that game a long time ago, and so I really want to really put some time into it, because Blue actually bought that for me. So So yeah, I'm gonna do something. I don't know what. I really want to play some more RimWorld. I really want to play some more Banished. I want to go back to some of my old PC games that I really like. And I really do.
Planet Zoo's part of the Humble Bundle this month. Well, May, so it's about to go away. But
I think I watch people play that. That's a little bit complicated. It's a little complicated for me.
Oh yeah,
just a bit, because I watch people who really know how to play that game, in the way that they have to put together like little pieces of stuff to like make new stuff. It's like super fucking complicated, and I'm just like, I don't know if I have that much patience. Because they actually came out with Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster, I don't know if it still is, but I know it was, the console version was on Game Pass, and I was just kind of like, that game is too fucking complicated, especially for a fucking controller. Like, no, thank you. Oh, it finally came back. Your sneeze finally came back. So maybe I do want to play some. I do want to play some stuff. You know what? Because of Obi-Wan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am super interested in the Jedi Fallen Order game now.
I like that game. I haven't finished it, but that's a really good game.
I might have to Nepo that shit.
Yeah, Nepo it, but it's good.
I think I might want to get into that. That might be something that I can download, and I can kind of put it to the side and kind of get to it like a little bit at a time. Hopefully I can get into that. That might be the thing that I end up playing. I really, really would love to be able to record some things and put that up on the site, but that's probably going to be a little bit more than what I really want to do right now.
Oh, well, this Humble Bundle actually has some things I think you've talked about. It's it had, well, the Planet Zoo has got Bikini Bottom or Hydrated or whatever, Command and Conquer Remaster Collection, and Spellcaster University, which you've talked about.
I definitely have Spellcaster University. Actually, one of the reaction channels that I watch are people that play games. One of those dudes just started it. He just started it, and he is awful at it because this is his first time, so I gotta let it go. But he is awful at Spellcaster University, like really fucking bad. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we made it. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back in your ear holes in 2 weeks. Or if we come up with what we're going to do for the reaction stuff, we might bring out a little bit of content here and there. Go to the Discord. The Discord is where we really actually like speak and like do things. I think we each need to start making sure that we post in like the shows and the YouTube stuff and all that kind of stuff into the Discord so that people can find the stuff a lot easier.
It just got posted that we were live at 8:20.
Yeah, it posted a live stuff. But like, you know, the edited versions and all of that kind of stuff. So like when people go to share it and things of that nature, they know where to go. And I think Discord is probably going to be the place for a lot of things. Actually, they had a thing on the Epic Store where you can get a free month of Discord Nitro.
Oh yeah, I haven't redeemed that yet,
but Game Pass has a 3-month Discord Nitro.
Okay. I wanted to try it because you can get 1080 video out of I wanted to see if, you know, our podcast looked better because of the 1080 video.
Okay. Sure. All right. Well, peace out to the Warriors. We'll be back in your ear holes when we get back. We're going to try to figure out some more things to do. Is the video paused? No, it was just paused on my screen. It was just paused on my screen. I don't know what's going on with my screen. But again, thank you all. Peace out to the Warriors, and we'll see y'all on the Get Back.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Look, I'm telling you, Walt. All right, I ain't gonna talk.